Hey, what's going on, Internet's Khalif here for Synergy Source. This is my blogging project where I like to talk about spirituality, philosophies, and things of that sort. I'm not gonna do the intro about the Instagram videos, although I'll probably flash it on the screen while I'm doing this here. I took a break yesterday, so I didn't do my quote from January 14th on January 14th, but we're gonna do talk about it and the quote from January 15th both today. Gonna double up for you guys, a little bit of a double header here. Yeah, enough intro stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So this quote is I posted to the Instagram on January 14th, 2021, and the quote is, "Getting information off the internet is like taking a drink from a fire hydrant." And that's Mitch Kapoor. Now, I love this quote because it lines up like metaphorically perfectly with the idea of data deluge. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but basically just the idea of people having an overwhelming inflow of information constantly in this day and age, especially our social media age, like smartphones, the internet. This is all around us. It's all encapsulated to the point to where most people's social lives offline revolve around things or technologies that they use online for. So even like your offline social circles, like your friends and your work colleagues and things like that, do a lot of your communication and coordination on the social world. So it's like, you know, we live in a matrix basically. It's crazy. So yeah, I wrote notes so I don't go too far off the rails. I don't want to talk too much. I gotta get through both of these quotes, so I'm going off my notes. The 24-hour media cycle is good and horrible in many ways. It lines up with the image of a hydrant spouting in that it's we have the opportunity. Everybody's got much less structured intake of information than they did in the past. So when TV first started, I think there was only like one network, and then there was like 3 or 4, and just 30 years ago in the 90s, much more controlled information sources. All these news networks and stuff are owned by the same corporations, the same cable companies and things of that sort, to where the amount of information that's getting to you goes through a lot more filtration systems. Like it was more of a water fountain than the fire hydrant spouting out at you. You know, it was a controlled, filtered, structured flow of information getting to you. And because it's much less structured now, there's less opportunities for those powers that be to filter and frame and censor information that gets to you, which is, like I said before, good and bad. The more because there's more opportunities for us to listen to more people's perspectives, get input from different kinds of people, we all become more worldly and more informed whenever we do seek out these different vantage points and these different different media producers. We have the opportunity to select and critique our information sources on our own now at this point, especially if you're a keen social media user, depending on how adept you are with navigating the internet realm. I would say it's mostly we all have more opportunity to select and critique our information sources, but as the years go on, that might change. But yeah, so it's good. So trying to stick to the notes, but it's bad because, like a hydrant spouting out as opposed to the controlled water fountain, there is much more opportunity for the bad stuff to get through without this robust without the robust filtration systems that the previous corporations had in place. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to get burnt out on the amount of information that comes through, to sort of quote unquote drown yourself in the amounts of information that come through. The information's always coming in every minute, and people have to learn how to filter and structure the intake of information for themselves. And because this is new technology that humans are not designed evolutionarily to process, it does a lot of damage to us psychologically, emotionally, and even physically. It's we've seen, I think it was Height talking about how much exposure to social media increases the likelihood of self-harm in teenagers, especially young female teenagers. There are so many people that It's a very extreme example, but I could just flash up an article of a lady who quite literally stabbed herself in the stomach because she hated Donald Trump so much. And I can guarantee you it's not because she hated Donald Trump so much, it's because she was consuming so much anti-Trump news, dude. You can sit there and literally hate on a single person for just hours and hours and hours nowadays, because not only is there negative press about those people, or press about those people that you can view from your negative perspective, there are people that literally coalesce around their disdain for a person. There are hate groups. There are people that hate watch streamers on Twitch and then go on Reddit and make threads and try to score internet points from other people that they know dislike them. It's a very just thinking about that, if you like remove yourself from that situation and look at that from 30,000 foot overview, that's kind of insane. But yeah, so that's just, I think I'm gonna let that quote be that, because I gotta get to this next one. But yeah, I really like that one. That was a good quote. All right, so for the quote for today, January 15th, the one I posted on the Instagram, January 15th, 2021, this quote is, whenever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. And that's Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Seneca? I have no idea either of these people. I'm gonna have to Google both of them, flash something on the screen for y'all. But yeah, so two things that came to mind when I first heard this quote. There was two ways I guess I saw this. There's always multiple ways you can look at things, but two ways I thought about this is human to human kindness, and then human to quote unquote nature kindness. I wrote the notes about human and nature kindness first. I said humans are the only creatures that exhibit the signs of rational existential thought. Well, I guess, I don't know, is that true at this point? I think what dolphins be like. Now dolphins and whales are, I don't know if you would consider them rational. I know they're like incredibly intelligent social creatures, but do they sit there and think about why they're alive and shit? Anyways, whatever. Sorry, I hit the microphone. I apologize. So yeah, I was just go through the notes. We're the only creatures that systematically employ kindness. The idea of being humane is not a part of nature. So like it's got us in the term humane, human. The idea of treating something with a base level of integrity, decency, compassion, humility, like having some respect for it. Like it has what's the word I'm thinking of? Dignity. Like treating things with the dignity that it should have is not something that other creatures necessarily think of. So I think that that's a opportunity that whenever it reflects the whole, whenever there is a human being, human beings are supposed to stand out amongst the animal kingdom. I mean, it depends on your perspective. I'll admit, if that's a religious thought to think that human beings are supposed to hold ourselves to a higher standard and not just resort to our animalistic based desires all the time and try to, push society, push evolution, push everything forward, that we just got to try to avoid being stupid monkeys. I'm 100% of that belief. That's why I try to, some things bother me that people do. Anyways, getting besides the point. So yeah, human beings are the creatures that offer or have the capacity to try to treat other animals with that dignity and respect and be kind to it. I mean, I know I've watched so many YouTube videos of animals fucking each other up. I watched like lions literally rip a baby giraffe out of his dead mother's womb and shit like that. It's like, I don't think those lions were thinking, yo, is this right? Should we? They definitely weren't worried about whether or not it was right. They're just trying to eat, like animals don't exhibit that. They don't have the capacity to be kind to one another. I mean, even within packs and within their own little groups and things like that, they might show compassion towards one another as far as helping each other sustain one another. Like chimpanzees, or was it chimpanzees? Yeah, chimpanzees will attack other chimpanzees and cannibalize them, but then turn around and snap off the arm and like hand it to their homie. Like that's, I don't know if that's compassion or if that's just a evolutionary adaptation to spread the caloric intake amongst the members of the group to make sure that all members of the group continue to hunt effectively, because the creatures recognize that they're not able to hunt without the help of their other people. So that just might be proper whatever. So and then yeah, talking about human to human kindness is the next one. Whenever there's another human being, whenever you come into interaction with somebody, you have the opportunity just on a very basic social level to, be nice to them. You don't have to treat them, you don't have to speak to them as if you have concern for their emotional well-being, or that just the ideas of decorum and class and etiquette and all that stuff are not necessary, but they're nice to have. We have the opportunity to be kind to one another. And then on a deeper, more, it's almost a Marxist level, there's very rarely is there true equity in nature. So whenever two human beings come into contact with one another, likely there's going to be some form of inequality between them, whether it's material, physically, socially, or something of that sort. So there's always an opportunity for one of the people that has the power and balance in their favor to be cruel and exercise that power and balance. So in not exercising that power and balance and trying to put themselves on equal footing with the other person, that's showing kindness. And at least in my mind, some people might consider that just basic decency or being humane, like we were talking about in the last example. But I think that's more of I try to think about things in the most charitable sense, so that I can get the most it makes me feel better out of it. I expect nothing from people, so that when somebody gives me like the most modicum of they show me a modicum of kindness or patience or anything like that, I appreciate it, because I know it's very easy for you to do the opposite, and nobody owes anybody anything. So I just try to think that, whenever somebody could be a dick and they decide not to be a dick, that's cool. I appreciate that. That's humans showing each other kindness. And all of our interactions with each other, every time we talk to each other, every time we pass each other by, there's an opportunity to be a dick. So that means that there's also an opportunity to be your nice guy, show kindness, things of that sort. So that's all I wanted to say for those two quotes. I think, that's all I got for you guys today. I got through both. I didn't talk for 15 minutes. I did it. Okay, I appreciate you if you ended up clicking on this video. Click around, find something else that I did. I gotta add the metadata to all these videos, man. It's been like 2 weeks. Anyways, I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.